What's up, YouTube family? Welcome back to On-Chain Gaming. Don't let the smile deceive you, though. Today, we are going to be having a rough talk, a real chat about the current state of the metaverse or Web3 gaming, crypto gaming, whatever you want to call it, because it's not good. In fact, I expect many of you guys who click this video are already thinking about unsubscribing. That is how much the metaverse has fallen off in the last little while. So I want to talk about my cautious outlook here. I don't think it's terminal. However, I think it will be terminal for many projects. However, that said, the projects that do succeed and aren't going to be disappearing here might be at or near levels where they are going to be incredible purchase opportunities. The hard thing is, there is so little transparency in this space that it is almost impossible to know which projects are weeks or months away from running out of runway and going bankrupt, and which projects are doing fine and are probably going to make it, which makes this a space that you have to be so cautious in. So we're going to do a little rundown here, look at the history of on-chain gaming, just a quick second, look at the current state of the metaverse via Google Trends data, and then look at how I feel a lot of projects are pretty desperate for users, but I don't even think that on-chain gaming, the biggest channel in the metaverse space, can really do much to help out these projects in this current situation. So if this video sounds good, hopefully you are willing to drop a big thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed already, or if you just unsubscribed a few seconds ago because you saw this video and you're like, I don't care about the metaverse anymore, well, consider resubscribing, because I don't think this is the end. This is definitely a deep, dark pit, but I don't think that it's the end. So let's start off here by looking at the very first video ever posted on On-Chain Gaming after we renamed the channel to On-Chain Gaming. This is from February 2021. The video has 42,000 views, 840 likes, and guess what it was about? Axie Infinity, the first crypto game that blew up before dramatically crashing. And, well, I think it's not dead, but it's definitely struggling. So this video was February 2017, and it was the beginning of on-chain gaming's massive rise from almost no subscribers to 130,000 subscribers in a matter of 16 months. It was absolutely crazy. And if we switch over here to the Google Trends data for Metaverse, you can kind of see the exact same thing playing out. So this is over the past 5 years here. So if we go, you can see the Metaverse really was not ever searched, less than 1%. Now this is relative to itself, but you can see that compared to what it got to, it was nothing. So January, nothing. And here we go, February 2021. This is when that very first video was posted by us at On-Chain Gaming. The metaverse was still almost nothing. And we made a ton of content. Actually, if we head back over here to On-Chain Gaming videos, search by oldest, all of this stuff was VR related stuff really before it became On-Chain Gaming. So this is that first video we were looking at 2 years ago. And most of our early content was about Axie Infinity, an interview with the CEO, or sorry, one of the co-founders of Axie Infinity here, and just a ton of content about whether or not Axie Infinity was a good project to buy into. This getting started guide really blew up, where I walked my brother through setting up his account. 720,000 views it got. And these videos, I think, really started to bring some exposure to Axie, to the metaverse. Crypto prices really started running up as well. We are in an age of low interest rates at this point, which led to a lot more speculation. And you can see that over the course of 2021, we started to get some actual interest. In April 2, in mid-April, we were up to 9, which is about 9% of its eventual popularity. And it fell back. There were some like gives and takes here. But then by the end of 2021, it was just like pure speculation. Everyone was interested in the metaverse. Facebook wanted to change their name to Meta because they just saw this blow up in search interest. And yeah, this was the prime time. On-chain gaming videos were getting between 20 and 100,000 views per video. Compare that to now, this video, it might get 1,000 views, 2,000 views, almost nothing compared to what the space was like. This is partly because we had COVID and people were able to get out of the house. They were like, I never want to see my computer again. People started traveling, and this is all great, healthy stuff. And the metaverse really started falling off. Now, all through here, like, we were really still posting super consistent 3, 4, 5 videos a week and getting relatively good traction, 5 to 10,000 views per video, biggest channel in the space, but it really didn't end here. More and more projects started failing. Big projects that On-Chain Gaming talked about often really started showing their true colors, that they weren't really caring about ripping off users. They didn't really care about providing value. They had no interest in providing any return on investment for buying $10,000 plus NFTs. And the interest just continued to fall off, partly due to bad actors in the space. And now, oh my gosh, fast forward to August, which is where we are now, August of 2023, and we're almost back down to 1, guys. We are literally almost back down to 1. Crazy. That is a 93%. Yes, 93% drop in interest in the metaverse that we have seen over the past year and a half. Absolutely wild. That means that for every 100 people that subscribed to On-Chain Gaming during this bull market, during this run, when everyone was hyped about the future, only 3 are still actually interested in it. Which is why every single time I post a video on this channel now, dozens of people unsubscribe because people just don't care anymore. People who did care and invested in this space, they got burned. Cryptocurrencies have collapsed. Everything except for, Bitcoin and Ethereum are super down. Like, literally, the coin prices match this chart pretty evenly. Many coins are literally back to their February 2021 levels, or below those levels, due to the inflation in the ecosystems that weren't set up right. So this leads us to a question. If this is what the space looks like, are we going to zero, or is there going to be a rebound? And personally, I think that there will be a rebound eventually. I don't know when, though. Especially in this age of now higher interest rates, until interest rates start to come down and people start to get a little bit more risk on again, the metaverse, I think, is going to be one of the last places that people want to put money. When you have super blue chip stocks like Tesla that are still down 50% at a certain point, fell 80%. It's like people are nervous about those companies that are literally printing billions of dollars in profit. Are they really going to put money in these speculative, unproven spaces? Unlikely. So I think that there's still going to be more rough period ahead. And just to show you, I don't want to say that this is desperation, but just to show you the state of the current space, On-Chain Gaming, we announced that we were taking at least a 6-month break from this space on Twitter due to being burned by our biggest sponsor of the past. And I had to let go all 3 of my employees at On-Chain Gaming. I am now doing this solo. And yeah, we just said we're going to take a break. We're going to see what happens. I made a video. I made a lot of my videos private now. But I made a video. I'm not sure if it's still public or not. that was just talking about how the lack of transparency in this space, and I mentioned it in the intro, makes it really impossible for a creator like me to talk bullishly about any of these projects, because I could literally say positive things about any of these projects, and then 2 days later, they could announce they're going bankrupt. And that's just not a position I want to put myself in. And unlike companies which have to disclose their financials, you can see their runway, you can see how much cash they have, what their burn is. You can't see any of that for these companies. And I know that just like 97 out of 100 people that were interested in the space no longer are, 97 out of 100 people that were interested in buying NFTs no longer are. The revenue of these companies are freaking collapsed. So the only way they're staying in business is if they reduce their burn rates, which a lot of them have, firing tons of employees, letting go of sponsors like on-chain gaming, which is why I had to let go of employees. And if they can't get their burn rate to a point where they can live through the next 3 years where there might not be that much demand or interest, then they are going to go out of business. So they need the cash, and like Illuvium just raised more money, but if Illuvium's burning $1 million a month, the money they raised isn't going to last them that long. And they had to take a massive valuation cut, like many startup companies have in this marketplace. It's normal. It's not even crypto gaming specific or metaverse specific. In any tech industry, any startup, anywhere, you're taking massive valuation cuts because the whole market is just in a very different place. I mean, unless you're the Magnificent Seven stocks, the big tech companies that are probably overvalued right now with incredible price to earnings ratio expansion compared to the rest of the market. Unless you're one of those companies that are literally holding up the S&P 500 entirely by themselves, you've taken a massive valuation cut. I'm thinking of companies like Square, Cash App, owner of Cash App and the Square swipe card. They're still doing incredible, growing revenues, increasing their profitability, and they're down 80% plus. So like that's probably one of the bluish chip growth companies that you could look at. All growth companies under that they're doing even worse, man. So in a space like this, the companies are really struggling. So we announced that we were taking a 6-month break. Yet in spite of that, just in the last 2 weeks, look at this. Illuvium has reached out. Big Time has reached out. Animoca Brands has reached out. Hanteo, who's the lead for Axie Infinity's community advertising, reached out. And a bunch of other games as well reached out that are much smaller. But sorry, I literally wasn't even showing this. But yeah, you can see Illuvium, Big Time, Animoca Brands, Axie Infinity. All of these companies have reached out. They're desperate for users. They are desperate for interest to return. And I don't even know, like, if we were to cover them, if I was to make a video on each of them, would it really help that much when 97 out of my 100 subscribers aren't interested in this space anymore? I don't know. I really don't know. Yeah, sure, it would help a tiny bit, but is it going to stop the inevitable trends? I don't think so. So this is my opinion, okay? My opinion is that this space, while the outlook is definitely really grim, it's not terminal, right? The prescription might be that many of these companies go out of business, but for the metaverse overall, it's not terminal, all right? The idea is going to live. Some of these projects are going to survive. I had a conversation with the chief monetization officer of Big Time after they reached out. And I can't verify this at all. No way to verify it. But he says they have 5 years of runway. So I think if you have 5 years of runway, then there's a good chance that you can make it through this bear market and you can make it through to a point where interest returns. Because, this chart eventually, I think it's going to return. I think that this 100 that we saw probably isn't even the highest search volume that we're ever going to see. We're going to see a bull run that even goes above this in interest. And when that happens, I will excitedly be making content again on that uptrend, talking about how excited I am about real player ownership and stuff. But we need a lot of these bad actors out. We need actors that actually care about the community that actually care about giving and empowering players with ownership. A lot of the big players right now, even ones I talked about very positively, it's come out in recent months that they're planning on siphoning out 85% or around that number of all of the money that goes into their ecosystems. A country with an 85% tax is not going to have any success. Anyone who wants to start a business and lives in that country is going to flee as fast as possible. So you better believe there's not going to be any migration to that country. If anyone wants to make any return at all when they know, 85% of what gets spent here is getting taken out, like there's no money left for anyone to make any return on investment. It's going to be impossible. So a lot of these actors need to die or change. And we really need a good game, guys. I mean, that's the bottom line. We need a really big viral game that people play because of the gameplay. And then people start actually getting rich in it because so many people start playing it and the early actors start making money. That is going to create news stories and then a gold rush. And eventually it'll happen again, guys. People will rush back in trying to get that easy money. There's not going to be easy money. There's no such thing as easy money. But if we can get a long-term sustainable economy, some people will make money and that will bring people in that want the easy money. But really, we need a game that blows up due to the gameplay that also has real ownership. When that happens, I think faith in the space will return. But until that happens, I don't think we've seen all the blood yet. I think there's going to be more blood on the street going forward. And there's still projects in the space I really like, guys. There are. But I don't think I can talk about them because I don't know if they're going to make it. And I don't want to be positively talking about any project to you guys just so that they can go bankrupt and you lose the money that you put into it. That would really suck. And honestly, this whole experience has been really, really rough on me. All the fundamental reasons that I have talked about over the past 2 years for why the metaverse is an awesome thing, I think are still true. But many of the specific projects that I talked about positively as going to be the next big thing, probably false, probably wrong, which is really, really difficult to admit and talk about. But I think that a lot of the subscribers that we've lost and will continue to lose, they're justified, right? People trusted us. And unfortunately, just 97% of the interest is gone, 90+% of these projects are not going to make it either. So it's just a really, really rough time to be in this space. For this reason, I'm probably going to start making videos about the stock market on this channel and just see how it goes. It's probably going to lead more people to unsubscribe, but it is what it is. Whatever I post, it doesn't really matter right now. People are going to be unsubscribing. So the reason I want to talk about the stock market for a little bit, I'll still mention coins and talk about projects if there's something really cool that happens. But I want to just stay in the habit of making content. And with companies, at least I can look at balance sheets. At least I can know that I'm not going to talk about a company and 5 weeks later, they're going to be out of business because I can actually see clearly what's going on and can talk with a little bit more certainty and more conviction because of that. So this space needs regulation. This space needs transparency. And this space needs actual fun games and companies that care about users, not trying to extract as much profit as they can out of this space until they kill it, which is unfortunately the way that many companies, one in particular that I've talked a ton about, most about on this channel over any other company, That's what they seem to want to do. Just extract as much value as you can until you kill the space, which is really, 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 really sad and kind of breaks my heart in a lot of ways. So thanks for watching this video, guys. If you appreciated this honest take, remember to drop a big thumbs up. And if you just watched this whole video and you're still not subscribed, I mean, obviously you would liked what I said a little bit, so I would appreciate any subscriptions to counteract all those unsubscribes. So thanks for watching, guys, and until next time, have fun roaming the metaverse.